the more women learn about what Sarah Palin stands for, and the fact that as mayor of Wasilla, she required rape victims to pay for the cost of processing the police evidence in their cases, up to $1,200. The fact that she opposes abortion even in the case of a child who's been raped or is a victim of incest. Her positions are so completely out of touch with those of the majority of American women that I think those polls, even if they were right to begin with, I think they'll be swinging back the other way very quickly as women find out what Sarah Palin stands for.
You know, women have true equality when conservative women and liberal women and progressive women and women from all stripes have an equal chance at the top. And so, you know, we are not against a woman being on a ticket for president. But we wish it was a ticket that stood for women and women's rights. Since it doesn't, we're opposing that ticket. And her personal positions on women's issues have also been extremely negative, especially in the area of reproductive rights. But there's other issues now emerging. But the important thing is where the McCain ticket stands on women's issues. And by the way, the Feminist Majority has compared plank after plank of women's issues. If you want to see it at feministmajoritypac.org. Or National Organization for Women has prepared a plank position, now.org. BPW has prepared a plank-by-plank position. What's your...
www.bpwusa.org, and we also have our information in the back of the room.
And the social workers have prepared it. And the National NARAL and Planned Parenthood, which have both given McCain a 0 rating. Not hard, it's very hard to get a 0 rating. The teachers have prepared a rating. It goes on. The ratings are based on performance. This ticket is not standing for the advancement of women.
Excuse me. One other thing I wanted to say is that, you know, the ultimate working woman or mother is one who has the support and resources to be a successful caregiver and an employee without penalty. And we want to see all working women have that opportunity. Not just one, not just 10, all working women.
Now does not frequently endorse in a presidential race. This is very unusual for us, and we did wait to see who would be on the ticket. Although Senator Obama has a wonderful record, we did wait to see because not only was Hillary Clinton considered, but there were some names that were being tossed out, I think not by the Obama campaign, but perhaps by the press. But there were some pretty nerve-wracking names that were being tossed out as potential running mates. But when Joe Biden was named his running mate, we've worked with Joe Biden literally for decades. We know him well. We know he's an advocate. We know he's a supporter. And we know that he'll stand up for women because he's done it. So that's what was key to us, is that both people on this ticket stand up for women, support women, and we know that they're going to keep their commitments when they're elected.
We also are worried to death, and that's why we're taking such a strong stand about the future. And we don't want to go backwards after, you know, I got to speak for myself, 40 years of fighting for women's rights. We lose the court. It's not just on abortion. It's not just on family planning. It's on affirmative action. It's on Title IX, which gives us equal educational opportunities. It's on Title VII. I thought that was secured in the 60s, for heaven's sakes. And we have the Roberts Court essentially, I think, gutting it with this Wage Discrimination Act. And we have the votes in the Congress to reverse it. And that there's a Republican filibuster going on, supported by John McCain, and so we might even lose that. There's no question where we have to stand. If you care about the rights of women, there's only one place to stand.
I think as the black woman, black and woman, I can say a little bit on the issue. I'm glad about the ticket we have on both sides, because it gives us the clearest example of who is good for the things that we women have fought for all of our lives, and it just so happens that it converges with what we in the black community have also fought for, and that is to take care of human needs, to end wars all around the world, to make sure that everybody has a home, to make sure that we can all live a decent life, a caring life, take care of our families. These are the things we want. And I'm so blessed because I can find those things in one person, Barack Obama. And I don't have to make excuses about saying, well, I'm just supporting him because he's black. No, he is the most qualified person in this race, along with Senator Biden, and they have the record that shows that they will support what is good for all women, not just for one woman who happened to rise to her heights in a small state like Alaska and a small town like Wasilla. We're always proud of any woman doing anything, but we're even prouder when it helps somebody other than that person.
Yeah.
We've talked at length with Senator Obama. We've looked at his record, his voting record, his public statements, his commitments to change, his commitments to women's rights, and our own experience with his running mate, Joe Biden, of long-standing, literally more than 30 years. We know Cynthia McKinney. I like Cynthia McKinney a lot. We haven't worked with Cynthia McKinney for 30 years. We've worked with Joe Biden for 30 years. We know who he is, we know what he stands for, and we know that he's with us. And we know that this ticket is the one that not only will represent us after the election, but it's also the ticket that can defeat what I think is one of the greatest threats to American women and to our economy in, well, at least the last 8 years.
I'm Mark Sheff with Workforce Management Magazine. Could you give us an idea of the prospects for another vote on the Ledbetter bill in the Senate and a vote on the Paycheck Fairness Act? And how important are those votes in terms of the effort you're trying to do to shore up or lock in the women's vote for Senator Obama?
Well, there've been a couple of votes already, and in both cases they've been blocked by Republican filibuster. There were more than 50 votes for passage. There was a majority for passage, but we couldn't pass them because the Republicans were fairly united in their filibuster. John McCain supported that effort to prevent the bills from coming to a vote. So
there's going to be another vote in September, though, and Senator Reid has promised to bring up the Lilly Ledbetter vote one more time. We need 3 votes to break the filibuster, so McCain has a chance to right his ways with working women, and we will be looking. He didn't even deign to come back and vote the last time, but announced that he would not vote for it because women didn't need legislation. What they needed was more education and more training. He doesn't have the facts right there. We tend to have more education and more training than our male counterparts. So anyway, he'll have one more chance. We hope that we can pass it. We have passed votes right before elections, and we're going to try right to the end.
all right, thank you very much. We'll all remain afterwards if you have additional questions. Thank you.